Have you ever asked yourself what truly holds you back from becoming the person you want to be? And more importantly, have you considered that the most powerful change you can make is not adding more, but quietly removing what no longer belongs in your life? The Stoic philosophers from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus taught that much of human suffering comes not from events themselves, but from the unnecessary baggage we carry. Habits, fears, resentments, and illusions. Today, I want to walk with you through 10 things you should eliminate silently, without justification, without warning, and without apology. This is not about pleasing the world. It is about freeing yourself. Now let's begin. Remove the mask you wear to please others. We all create masks at some point in life. They are roles we play to feel accepted, to avoid rejection, or to maintain peace. These masks might look like the perfect employee who never disagrees, the agreeable friend who laughs at jokes they dislike, or the curated online persona who appears successful and happy. But every mask takes us further from authenticity. Seneca warned us that true wealth is living according to our nature. When you hide your true self, you may survive socially, but inside you begin to starve spiritually. In today's world, the pressure to perform is even stronger. Social media amplifies the need to appear flawless. Workplaces often reward conformity, and families sometimes expect us to carry identities that no longer fit. But when you remove the mask, something powerful happens. Those who truly resonate with you stay, while those who don't quietly fade away. It is painful to let go, but liberating. Eliminating the mask is an act of courage, because authenticity may cost you approval, but it always returns your freedom. Stop procrastinating. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of life's brevity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Yet we delay action as if time were infinite. We postpone dreams, important conversations, personal growth, convincing ourselves that tomorrow will be the right day. But procrastination is not neutral. It quietly steals the only resource we cannot regain: time. Every delayed step is a day lost forever. In the modern era, procrastination is often disguised by productivity itself. We spend hours on emails, busy work, or endless scrolling, convincing ourselves we are active, while avoiding the task that truly matters. We binge-watch to escape the discomfort of starting something meaningful. But discipline means acting now, imperfectly, without waiting for motivation. Eliminating procrastination is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing the next necessary thing today, because tomorrow is a story we may never live. Release the past. Memories can imprison us. The failures, betrayals, and humiliations of the past echo in our minds, shaping our identity in ways we don't even notice. Epictetus said it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. This means the past does not exist as a living force. It survives only in the meaning we assign to it. The chains are not the events themselves, but the stories we continue to tell ourselves about them. In today's life, these chains take many forms. The fear of trying again after a failed relationship, the reluctance to pursue a dream because of a past mistake, or the endless self-criticism born from childhood wounds. By reframing these experiences, you free yourself. The failed job becomes a lesson in resilience. The betrayal becomes wisdom about human nature. The rejection becomes a reminder that worth cannot be outsourced. The Stoic practice of journaling, like Marcus Aurelius's meditations, was designed exactly for this, transforming wounds into wisdom by rewriting the meaning of events. End emotional dependence. The desire to be loved, accepted, and validated is natural. But when your peace depends on another person's behavior, you surrender control over your life. Epictetus taught that freedom comes when our happiness is tied to what is within our control, our thoughts and actions, not to external things. Emotional dependence turns affection into addiction, where absence feels like collapse. Modern relationships often confuse love with need. People chase constant reassurance from partners, likes on social media, or validation from bosses. But dependence is fragile. If others withdraw, you feel worthless. Eliminating emotional dependence does not mean isolation. It means cultivating inner stability, so that relationships are chosen from abundance, not necessity. A Stoic partner, friend, or colleague is not half a person seeking completion. They are whole, choosing to share their wholeness. That is the foundation of love built on freedom. silence imaginary fears. Anxiety is the anticipation of pain. The Stoics saw this as one of the most destructive habits of the mind. Marcus Aurelius observed, "If you are pained by anything external, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment of it." Most of the disasters we rehearse never arrive. Yet the mind, in imagining them, makes them feel real and robs us of peace. Today, anxiety has become epidemic. We lie awake rehearsing job interviews, fearing economic collapse, worrying about health conditions we may never develop. Technology intensifies this with constant news, worst-case scenarios, and comparisons that fuel insecurity. Eliminating imaginary problems does not mean ignoring risk, but focusing on what can be acted upon now. Instead of trying to predict the future, strengthen your capacity to adapt to whatever comes. That shift from prediction to preparation turns fear into resilience. Let go of resentment. Resentment is anger stored like a weapon, but one that only wounds its owner. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Time reveals that clinging to resentment changes nothing outside of us, but corrodes us within. To resent is to chain yourself to the very thing you wish to escape. In modern life, resentment often lingers in workplaces, families, and friendships. Perhaps someone received credit you deserved, or someone betrayed your trust. Online, resentment thrives as outrage and endless arguments. But while anger may feel justified, it consumes energy that could be invested in growth. To eliminate resentment is not to excuse wrongs, but to reclaim your peace. Forgiveness in the Stoic sense is not about forgetting. It is about releasing the grip that the past holds over you, so that your present and future remain uncorrupted. Reject the happiness illusion. The idea that happiness lies in the next milestone is one of humanity's most enduring illusions. The Stoics rejected this view. For them, happiness, or eudaimonia, was not a prize to be earned, but a condition created by living with virtue. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Today, advertising and culture teach the opposite, that happiness lies in possessions, promotions, or achievements. Yet when the goal is reached, satisfaction is brief, and the cycle begins again. Eliminating this illusion requires a radical shift, to see happiness not as a destination, but as a daily practice of alignment between values and actions. Gratitude, integrity, and presence become the true sources of joy. This is not complacency. It is liberation from the endless race. Drop constant justifications. How often do you feel the need to explain yourself? Why you made a career change? Why you ended a relationship? Why you live differently from your peers? Epictetus advised, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Constant justification weakens your resolve because it shifts your focus outward to the opinions of others rather than inward to your own values. In our hyper-connected age, justification has become a reflex. Social media encourages us to explain, defend, and validate every choice. But the Stoic path is one of silent strength, integrity without the need for applause, conviction without the need for approval. Eliminating constant justification means reclaiming your energy. Let your actions, your peace, and your progress speak louder than any explanation ever could. Break destructive habits. The Stoics believed the body and mind are inseparable. Marcus Aurelius disciplined himself with exercise, reflection, and simplicity because he knew weakness in one area infects the other. Poor habits, sleep deprivation, overeating, distraction, self-criticism slowly corrode both the body's vitality and the mind's clarity. In modern life, destructive habits are everywhere. Endless scrolling prevents rest. Processed food numbs energy. Negative self-talk poisons confidence. Eliminating these habits is not about chasing perfection, but about cultivating respect. Every small improvement, a night of full rest, a balanced meal, a mindful pause, is an investment in resilience. The Stoics did not see discipline as punishment. They saw it as freedom. Freedom from impulses, freedom from weakness, freedom to live with strength. 10. Quit criticizing others. Criticism is a shield we raise to avoid looking inward. It is easier to point out the faults of others than to confront our own. Epictetus reminded his students, "Don't concern yourself with what others do or don't do. Concern yourself with what you do or don't do." Criticizing may feel powerful, but it produces no growth. Today, criticism is constant. Social media thrives on judgment. Gossip fills workplaces, and even families normalize pointing out flaws. But every ounce of energy spent criticizing others is energy stolen from your own self-improvement. Eliminating this habit does not mean silence. It means redirecting focus. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with them?" to ask, "What can I strengthen in myself?" That shift turns judgment into responsibility, and responsibility into transformation. True freedom begins not with adding, but with removing. Eliminate in silence, and let your actions speak louder than words.